Hey YouTube, what's going on and welcome back to Chirona's Things. Today I wanted to share with you guys a flashlight I received recently. This is from a brand called Orioner. To my knowledge, this is mainly a Kickstarter brand. It's not some big flashlight brand or anything. From what I can tell, he mainly does multi-tools and kind of dipping his toes in flashlights a little bit, just trying to come up with some creative ideas. He offered to send us out and I said, sure, it looks interesting. So I'll review it for you, an honest review. So here we've got it, and I just want to kind of show you guys what it's all about here. So it's titanium alloy on the material, feels pretty nice, even though it's tiny. It has slight bit of heft there. What's cool is that it does have a replaceable battery. So let's take a look at that real quick. So it unscrews here, as you can see, from the tail, and then we've got a gasket down in there. Threads are fairly dry, so you might want to put a little lubricant in there. And then you can recharge the battery via this USB-C port right here if you want. You can just pull this out and recharge it like that, and then you're good to go. You can also remove the battery as well by unscrewing this little part here. You'll see this is just kind of like a tube. And then here is the battery that comes with it. It's just a tiny little 10220, which is a 130 milliamp 3.7 volt lithium ion battery. So really tiny little battery, but the most important thing is you can replace it. I feel like a lot of these little Kickstarter flashlights that they've come out with, from all these different brands that are trying out getting into flashlights, they're putting these built-in batteries. So this is nice that it does come with a replaceable battery and that it's got USB-C recharging as well. Here you can kind of see the internals of the flashlight there and the head. And we just kind of screw that right back on. Obviously, this does have a unique design in how it's intended to look like a missile or a bomb or something, from World War II. I think it's really creative and just cool look to it. It's got a pretty solid button here. Click feels pretty good. Doesn't really have any play side to side or anything. It's just nice up and down. Nothing overly special about it, but it's pretty good. And then here on the head, I'll let you see what that looks like. I have no idea what LED is down in there. I don't know what emitter that is, but I will tell you that it maxes out at 120 lumens. So I'll show you the user interface, and this is where I'm going to admit to you I think it falls a bit short. I'm a click on, click off kind of guy, but that's clearly not the case. So this is actually a hold on to get into white light mode. Okay, when you get into this mode, it starts off on the highest mode, and then you click to cycle through your settings: medium, low. Now here's where some of you are going to really have an issue. And then it goes to strobe, back to high. So strobe is built into that. I have no idea if there's like a button sequence that allows you to turn off strobe. That may be the case. If so, then I'll gladly do it. But I think because I got a pre-production model, I don't think I got any instructions with this. If I did, then I lost them. But I don't think there was any like real instructions. So yeah, that's pretty strange there how the strobe's built in. I know not everybody will be a fan of that. But then additionally, if you double click from on or off, you can get into a UV mode. And then if you click again, you can get into a pretty bright, solid red light there. Click again for flashing red, and then click again to get back into your ultraviolet. You can see the ultraviolet's fairly strong as well, especially for a tiny little flashlight. Let me show you some size comparisons here as well. So here is a little keychain flashlight that I've got, the S15 Pro from Tunage. And you'll see there, this is actually smaller than a keychain flashlight. Okay, and then here it is next to just a more common flashlight that most of you will be more familiar with. This is the Workhorse HD01 Pro, and you'll see just how tiny this thing is. I wouldn't say quite even half the length there, maybe really close to half. And not really even much bigger, even though the HD01's flat on the diameter there. So this is pretty small. So yeah, so size is really tiny on this. 120 lumens, that's fine. Really my issue with this is only the user interface, and then the other thing is that the light is pretty cold. I know it's kind of hard to tell on video here, but I actually fairly like cold white lights, but this is really cold. I don't know what the temperature is on this, the kelvins, but it's pretty high. I think that they should have went with something neutral or even warm out of this to appeal to the flashlight community a bit more. So I know this is something that's it's not going to be for everybody because it is a very cool white light and because it has strobe built into the user interface, which, like I said, I don't know if you could turn it off or not. I'll have to wait until the actual Kickstarter campaign launches, which should be the day that I release this video. And I will include a link in the description with that Kickstarter but hopefully we do get some instructions there that let us know if we can turn off that strobe or not. Either way, though, I do think it's pretty fun to have in the collection, especially if it's inexpensive. If you're a collector, having a little kind of missile-shaped flashlight here that has UV and red light in it, and I think if anything, even if you run it in red light mode only, it's worth it to have this if it's inexpensive, just for a little red light flashlight, because that red is pretty strong. It's good. But yeah, I just think this is fun and creative. It's definitely not for everybody, but if you do want to check it out, check out that link in my description. Thanks so much for watching and have a great week.